So I'm going to give you an example of a room scan of what we want to see from Lake Sumter State College. What we need to be able to see is, you notice here, I am not super close to my camera. So you may need to mess with your camera. I actually have found this over here where I have these different pieces here to where it's further away. If we can only see this of you during a test, it's not a valid test, because we have no idea what's going on to the other areas. So please make sure that when you're picking where you're sitting, you'll notice here I am sitting slightly at an angle because I do want to actually be able to see your workspace on where you're working. So I've set my computer, if possible, now again, I know this isn't all possible, but this is where you want to play a little bit. I've set my computer a little bit further away from me here to where I can still type on it. But I have my work paper here so that I can see that when it's filming you when you're taking your test. So you want to practice this before you go into honor lock for the room scan. So now I'm going to show you my room scan using mine. Another quick comment, I'm wearing a hat. You're going to have issues with wearing a hat. So if you're wearing a hat, please turn it around the opposite direction so that it's clear of where your eyes are looking, because you will be flagged for wearing it. So either A, don't wear one, or B, wear it backwards. So I'm going to pick up my computer because I don't have an external web camera. I will tell you that this is so much easier if you have an external web camera, so I would look into it. They're not that expensive, but I'm going to go ahead and do a scan. And I haven't cleaned up my room, but I will tell you that it is kind of, think about what you're showing me. Okay, so I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to flip mine around so that I can show you what I'm expecting to see. So I'm going to step back. You'll notice that my paper is all laid out on here, and actually you can see my phone, which is a no-no, so I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I'm going to scan the area. I'm actually having my computer on top of those boxes so that I can sit it the right way. So you're going to quickly, but enough to where I can see the room. So you want to scan it all the way around, and you'll see a lot of my kids' stuff in here because this is actually their computer room as well. But what I'm trying to say to you is, think about it. Okay, I need to see where you're sitting and underneath. Okay, so that's part of the scan as well. So make sure I can see everywhere that you're going to be able to access. Okay, and slow enough. So I just showed you my paper here, and when I say I want to see your paper, I want you to show it to me spread out so that I can see it. Now, if you have a small desk space, I'm okay with, just going to show you, when you're showing me your paper, it's okay for you to start here, but notice I can see all of your paper when you're showing it to me. So earlier I had people picking the paper up and showing it to me, but I have no idea what's on your desk. So I want to be able to see this front and back on the desk area that you're going to use. Now, other suggestion here, and what I want to see is, I want to see that phone turned off, power down. And then I want to see that phone placed away from you. It cannot be close to where you're going to set it. Now, you can put it to where I can see it in the background and I can clearly see that it's off. That's awesome, because that shows me that you are not using it when you're illegally not supposed to. It will ding and let us know if you're using illegal pieces in there. So please don't put us in that situation to where we would have to worry about it. So now I'm going to position my, I have one that goes front and backwards. Some of you do not. I will tell you this is a little bit more challenging if you have a desktop with that, and that's why, again, I do recommend, especially if you're going to be taking several online classes, to go ahead and try to order a external web camera. It just makes it easier to do the room scan. It makes it easier for you to show me your paper. I can see clearly my phone is over here and I am not using it. There's no phones allowed on there, but it's very important that we can see that you are not using your phone. So, for example, it has to be in your room for something with work. Make sure it's placed over where we can see it during the test so that we know, and if it goes off, you need to pick it up and honestly show us what's on the screen so we're clear on what's there in those types of pieces. We're just asking y'all, again, to show us everything so that we know that your test is valid and we don't have to ask you to do something again. So just in summary again, remember, full room scan, 360 degrees. You need to show us paper front and back, and preferably it needs to be on the desk so that we see that you don't have a hidden piece of paper somewhere. You need to show us underneath where you're sitting. We want you to position your camera in such a way that we can see where you're doing your work. If you're constantly looking at the side when we're watching your video, that's going to make us question what's over there. So we may have to ask you to redo the whole test with Zoom, and we don't want to do that either. So please, again, think about what you're doing in those pieces. If there's people walking in and out, it's going to flag you. We're going to have issues with that. We're going to have to re-ask you. If we hear you talking to somebody, that's going to cause issues. We're going to have to ask you to redo it. So please, please, all I'm just trying to do here is trying to make sure we don't have any issues and that everything runs smoothly. But that's also why we have the practice quiz, so that you can practice this, and you can do it multiple times to see how it happens. Okay? If you're sitting in the right spot in some of those pieces. But no phone. Okay? No phone. It's not allowed to be used on the test. No personal calculators. You can get a calculator on the test. If we see any personal calculators, your test is void. So please make sure you follow the directions and practice using that in that first practice quiz. You're going to probably have some issues with scanning your ID. You have to hold it in a specific way, so make sure you follow the directions. And I ask you this. Watch the video for how to take the test from HonorLock. Watch the video from them giving the room scan. I'm just kind of giving you another example to see some options that you can do for me to help me know that you're not using what you shouldn't be using. But if you're having issues with HonorLock, you got to contact them. They have a 24/7 contact, and they can see exactly what's going on and give you feedback. If you're having issues with My Math Lab Pearson, you need to contact them. You can let me know, but I do not, unfortunately, have the access to see some of those pieces that they can see there as well. Good luck. Be prepared. Please don't make me have to ask you to do a test again. Okay? Make sure that you're following all the rules and you're signing the agreement saying that you did not use anything you were supposed to. Any questions? Feel free to please ask away.